Alrighty, y'all. We've got some fan art to go over, and then we've got a fairly misleading article to talk about as well, and we will be using a few right-wing sources to debunk it, awkwardly. It turns out that when you tell one lie, not everybody actually tends to go along with that actual lie. However, let's get the fan art out of the way first, and then we'll get into that specifically. This first one here is from Jet. Oh, I gotta turn off the second slime animation that was there for while we had Naomi on. Anyway, this one is from Jet saying the cats knocked them over, and now it looks like Suris is threatening the other dolls. Just about to slap a bitch. That's what's about to happen right there. That is perfect. The next one we have is from Nami the Neko. Said, finally done. It took me over 12 hours to do. Done practicing animation for now. It's a pain in the ass, even if rewarding feeling. This is the seventh, this is the second animation I've ever made. It's supposed to be Slime Suris going from a normal smile to an Anya smug face and back. Now I attempt to sleep. Yeah, that is adorable. My Spy Family liking is paying off here. That said, as always, everybody, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. And with that said, for those who were not here during the Nominal Naomi stream, I've been having fun with my 3D printer. I've been making Sensei's divining tops. Anyway, that's just a completely side thing. Completely and totally separate from anything else. Let's go ahead and talk about the article. This one actually was suggested by Cherry, my current editor, and she decided that this is something we should look at. So this is from the Daily Mail, saying, racist University of Kentucky student pleads guilty after singing the N-word 200 times at a black staffer. I don't catch Strem live often enough. QD Moore, thank you very much for the resubscription. After singing the N-word 200 times at a black staffer in a 10-minute rant. Here's how long she faces in jail. Now, the cool thing about this article is that the way the Daily Mail is showing this, which of course we know the Daily Mail is a moderately right-wing source that has not the best track record on fact checks. In fact, actually, we can do that work right now. Media bias fact check, Daily Mail. Let's go ahead and take a look at their credibility score. A very low rate of factual reporting with a very right-wing bias bordering on extreme. They are considered a questionable source, and there's a detailed report here showing the reasons why they are a questionable source. Right-wing propaganda, conspiracies, fake news, numerous failed fact checks, all of that is there for your viewing pleasure if you would like to go to the details. But here's the cool part. If you scroll down just a little bit, community notes comes to the rescue. So let's go ahead and take a look at the community notes version of this from the New York Post, which, again, New York Post is actually another right-wing source. New York Post. They have a slightly less right-wing bias and a slightly higher rate of factual reporting, with their detailed report only noting that they are a right center with mixed factual reporting with about a mostly free press freedom ranked. They have medium credibility, so they are marginally better, which is not saying much. But let's look at how they frame it here. Ex-University of Kentucky student who used the N-word over 200 times in a horrifying caught-on-camera attack pleads guilty. Caught-on-camera attack? That's completely different. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's shown here. Maybe this video will have to be censored because of what we're looking at. We'll find out.
I hope. Could you stop, please? No.
Why is she...
Could you stop?
Why is she throwing hooks?
Thank you. I'm thinking I'll see the
She looks drunk.
Oh, gee. I did not get paid enough for this. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I got the phone video.
Me too.
I got the phone.
You trying to get me to get her to like get chairs and things? No, I'm drunk. You're drunk. You're bitch.
Based on what she was doing, the absolute second she let go of her wrists, she was going to start swinging again. So, just a couple things, a couple bits for maybe you should know. So hooks are for power, jabs are for effectiveness, right? When you are fighting, don't just try to throw haymakers. Hooks are powerful but predictable. They are meant as follow-ups after a dodge. If you are punching straight away, and you are leaning into the punch, and you are making sure that your fist is clenched tightly. The ideal is to have your fist clenched around something to provide stability, and you are hoping to go with these knuckles here hitting, because if you say hit with the part of a knuckle right here and it hits a jawbone, there's a chance of your knuckle just breaking when you do that. You do not want your thumb out. You're not trying to do this number. You want pieces of your body that flail around in. You want here, here, here. And you again want to be leaning into your shit and stepping into your shit. Not like, no. These are predictable. These don't work. Anyway, now that we've got the terrible, terrible fighting stance of this woman out of the way, let's get into what's going on here. So we all know that when somebody gets drunk, right? When somebody said also don't step into shit. Yeah, don't step into shit when you throw a punch. But yeah, no. Anyway, as we all know, when you get decently drunk, your inhibitions go down. Your ability to recognize that, hey, maybe the things I'm doing and engaging in are not the best things possible. I may not be doing the right thing here. Your ability to tell that goes out the window. Also, on top of that, there's a saying. Drunk words are sober thoughts. The more drunk you get, the more you start letting out your inner voice that's not supposed to actually come out there. Your true self comes out as you get inebriated. I have only ever been inebriated twice in my life. And both times were not with alcohol because I don't like alcohol. They were actually with edibles. And fun fact, according to Saki, who had better stock of the situation than I did, apparently when I'm under edibles, most of what I do is just say, my girlfriend is cute and I love her. That's most of what I do while I'm on anything, when I'm actually inebriated. I was surprised. I thought I had some darker shit going on inside my brain. Apparently I don't. Apparently that's what I do when I'm terribly inebriated. I also apparently say it while I'm sleeping, but that's another conversation about my subconscious anyway. Anywho, the point is, this is a person who's obviously racist because the first words out of their mouth over and over and over again are the N-word as they're trying to swing on a black girl. Now, what context we have? Let's go ahead and find out. Anywho, the ex-University of Kentucky student caught on a viral video attacking a black student while firing off an arsenal of racist slurs, including the N-word more than 200 times, has pleaded guilty to assault charges according to a report. Sophia Rosing, 23, pleaded guilty to 4 counts of 4th-degree assault, 1 count of disorderly conduct, and 1 count of public intoxication in Fayette County. Her attorney, Fred Peters, told Lexington on Monday. The guilty plea came after a mediation in which Peters says a lot of things got said, apologies were made, and we worked it out. Her life has been on hold for the past 18 to 12 months, the attorney said the outlet. She's had a lot of time to think about what has been done, and she wrote a nice letter of apology. Rosing allegedly kicked, punched, and bit a 19-year-old student worker, Kyla Spring, while repeatedly calling her the N-word in a drunken tirade at a campus residence on November 6th of 2022. Now, that's insane to me. Now, a couple reasons this is insane to me. One, if you notice, the way that this is framed by Daily Mail is that she got jailed for being racist. That's what, based on the information that is here, racist university student pleads guilty after singing the N-word 200 times at a black staffer in a 10-minute rant. Here's how long she faces jail. That's what the Daily Mail focuses on. Now, their article itself, let's go ahead and take a look at what their article has. They say I need to go ahead and enable ads. I don't have to enable ads because I can click the stop loading button very, very quickly. That's something I have access to. Racist University of Kentucky student pleads guilty after singing the N-word at a black staffer. Here's how long she faces in jail. That's what it shows as well. Prosecutors have demanded a year in jail and 100 hours of community service for a University of Kentucky student who assaulted staff and police during a prolonged tirade of racist abuse. Interesting. So the way that it's framed here in the Daily Mail article is identical if you go past the headline. Now, I have a question. For those of you who are familiar with Facebook moms, right? Facebook moms are the people who spend all their time, once upon a time used to be playing Farmville and Mafia Wars, but now that all has become defunct in the era of mobile games, so people just kind of find random articles while they're doom scrolling on Facebook and share them around to other people. Now, as you're finding these random articles on Facebook and sharing them around, you know what's the last thing people do? They don't fucking read them. They never do. They always look at the headlines and then immediately go with that. And that's not just on Facebook. That's also on Twitter. So if we look here, Daily Mail only does that headline, and the headline doesn't give any of the actual information on what happens in the article and showcases what looks like a young blonde girl going to jail for racism, which would be alarming, right? America, freedom of speech. How dare you go to jail for racism? In fact, actually, if you look in the comments, saying the N-word is illegal now? Free Sophie. She doesn't need fixing. They ruined her life for saying a word while rapists and murderers walk free. What a world we live in. My queen. So, yeah. Guilty of stealing our hearts. She did nothing wrong. Deport all N-words to Africa. So not only do we have the racist bots out in full force during this, but we also have people who, just like I predicted, did not read the article. Now, I only looked one bit down when choosing to go over this article. I had not scrolled through the rest of Twitter. I assumed what I would find. I made a prediction. It's just weird that that prediction ended up being quite accurate. It's just kind of funny. Also, I just dropped both of my sensei's divining tops on the ground. And given that I have dogs, they're going to think that they are toys. Weird, where'd it go? Huh, strange. I have no idea where these things have gone. Oop. There they are. Turns out when you have a thing with no stand, it tends to roll. Funny. These people feel like they would think Karen is a racist slur, correct? I mean, they'll do anything to gain oppression points. These are the people that talk about the Oppression Olympics while actually being depressed, that they are not in the Oppression Olympics. They desperately need to be oppressed themselves. But let's go ahead and continue on in the original article that we were looking at. The girl starts saying things like, do my chores, and it's not my fault you're black. It's not my fault you're ugly. And at this point, she's singing the N-word. The former UK student continued her appalling behavior when police arrived and placed her in handcuffs when she allegedly kicked and bit an arresting officer during a drunken rampage. Following her arrest, a judge set her bond at $10,000, which she posted. She was released the following day. The late-night assault was captured on video and posted online, where it went viral and sparked outrage, protesting students at the university to hold a March Against Racism rally on campus. The intoxicated Rosing was heard saying the N-word more than 200 times during a 10-minute video. The University of Kentucky permanently banned her from campus following the attack. In February of 2023, Rosing was indicted by a Fayette County grand jury on all 6 charges she initially faced, including assault and felony assault of a police officer, and at that point she pleaded not guilty. No, your officer, I am not guilty of all those things. Ignore what was on the camera. Ignore what you saw. I am not guilty. I didn't do any of that. All I did was put a black person in their place. That's not what she said, but let's go ahead and go with that whole drunk saying sober thoughts thing. Since the indictment, Rose's case has been passed on the docket 5 times, and during that time, both parties attempted to reach a resolution, Peters told the outlet. Peters told the outlet that the former business owner and marketing major faces 12 months in jail, 100 hours of community service, and a $25 fine, pleading her guilty plea. She is to be sentenced on October 17th. Following Monday's hearing, Spring, who was in attendance for the guilty plea, spoke with Lex and revealed that she and Rosing had an opportunity to talk during mediation. Spring said, I told her that she didn't break my spirit. That was one of the things I said the first time I ever spoke about what happened, and that rings true today. Peters also told the outlet that his client was extremely remorseful, and she read a very heartfelt apology to Kyla during our mediation. Spring, however, wasn't buying it. She says, I feel that a person that is remorseful takes actions that are moving towards proving they are remorseful, not just words. Spring claims that Rosing did not mention the racial slurs she used against her during the hearing, which she said may still take her a bit of maturing and unpacking to come to terms with. Also, can I just say, in general, just as an aside, if the person here wants to scream and yell about the other person being ugly, why would they pick an incredibly attractive black woman? But why would you pick this as your target for saying ugly? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I get being drunk, but come on. Come on. Stupid fucking people. So I think admitting at least a piece of what she's done, admitting the things she said, and being able to own up to them, I think it's going to follow behind, Spring told the outlet. Seeing yourself in that light is not an easy thing to see, I imagine, so I guess there's still a bit of maturing and unpacking that needs to be done, so I'll give her the space to do that. Nevertheless, Spring says she's forgiven Rosing and was raised to not hold grudges. She says, I forgive her more so for myself. I was raised to not hold grudges. I was raised to give people forgiveness because God forgave us. It's hard for me to come to terms with, but in the end, I want to live a life where people can say I was a kind and forgiving person. And you know what? It takes a big person to do that. It takes a big person to be that kind of person because, of course, nobody is actually owed your forgiveness for anything. God knows there's shit that I've done that people have not forgiven me for, and they don't have to do that. That doesn't have to be part of their healing process, nor does it have to be part of mine for not being that person. In general, we as people are going to hurt people as we get older. But it is still a sign of maturity. It is still a sign of being the bigger person that she is able to do that. That she is able to go, no, I don't need to take what you said, but I do forgive you for saying it. But I do find it very interesting with this whole ordeal that Daily Mail decided that the way they wanted to showcase physical assault, they wanted to showcase that as this blonde girl we are going to show in a very attractive light as our first thing right here. This girl right here. She got sent to jail for saying the N-word. Just for saying the N-word. Isn't it everybody's freedom of speech right to do that? And of course, if you look at the comments, like I predicted, that's what you find there. When even other right-wing news outlets are not reporting it that way. Jassa says, back the blue unless it's a blonde girl doing the assault. Jesus Christ. Anyway, also, somebody mentioned before that if somebody is a racist, then they'll just find somebody unattractive in general. I guess that's fair. If you're a racist, they equate black with ugly. I understand that on a, like, base level, but I also don't understand that. Just thinking about it logically, That doesn't make any sense. Like, what criteria are you going for besides black there? It certainly makes your case make you look like you are far more racist in general. Obviously, saying the N-word 200 times makes you look pretty fucking racist. But if somebody is like, hits every bar of being conventionally attractive, and then you're just like, you're ugly, and the only thing you have to go for is like, they're black, you look infinitely worse. Like, astronomically worse when you do that. Tail says, also using a white woman's sorrow as an excuse to attack black people has been done since the 1980s. Yep, it's insane and it's stupid. But this is the way that these types of news outlets manipulate you. They know that they are going to be seen, and the victims of crimes are going to go about their days, irrespective of how they report on the issue. So they're going to focus their reports on the things that make their audiences go nuts and share the article a billion times. It's really weird, isn't it? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This was an enlightening article, seeing the way that reality juxtaposed to what the actual title of the article was. As always, thank you for watching. Share this video with a friend if you feel like it's interesting enough to them. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon and insert in the video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.